Hello there. Atheist Jr. here, your friend and humble narrator. And today it's just going to be, sorry. Today we're going to be watching my favorite episode of the Atheist Experience. So, all right, let's get into it.
State call. We've got, is it Jerikia in Killeen, Texas?
It's Jerichiah.
Jerichiah, I'm sorry. I don't even know if they spelled that right. Does it have a K or a CH? Forget it. It doesn't matter.
Jerichiah.
Hi, Jerichiah.
How are you?
Hi, how are y'all doing? Pretty good, thank you.
Good, thanks. What's up?
Hey, so I had a question about your worldview.
Mm-hmm.
I was just curious, from a theistic perspective, being a non-denominational Christian, I'm just curious, how come atheists don't actually practice or live out their worldview?
I do not know what you mean. You're going to have to get more
atheists
specific.
per se don't have a worldview. Each individual person,
yeah.
each person does, but there's not one atheist worldview that 100 million atheists share.
Right. Atheism is one perspective on one topic that maybe informs the rest of our thinking, but does not determine everything else that we think.
Was there?
Yeah, I would agree with that. Mostly. I'm not really sure what this guy is getting at so far. But
A specific thing?
Phil and I are really geeky about math, and a lot
Yeah.
of atheists are not.
Is there a specific?
I mean, but atheists can't answer the four most important questions about life philosophically.
Important is subjective.
And even if they can't, doesn't mean we're wrong.
What are the four most important questions about life? I'm biting.
It would be origin, meaning, morality, and destiny. And I even beg to differ. Atheists.
Those aren't questions.
Humanity, no hope.
Yeah, I didn't hear a question, Mark.
Yeah.
Can you give us one question to start with?
So from a philosophical perspective, can you prove to me the origin and the historical evidence of why somebody would be an atheist when they contradict their own worldview within the frame they live?
Okay, you're back to the first question that I didn't understand.
I think was that a question? I think it was.
Well,
it was a bad question.
The question was, can you?
But I think it's a loaded question.
Since I didn't quite understand the question, I'm just going to say no. Next.
Okay,
can you dumb things down for us a little? Because we're just simple-minded atheists.
Yeah, I apologize because I thought Christians couldn't be logical like atheists.
Well,
that's what you.
Who said that? Like what? Okay.
I guess.
Because the origin of life, I mean, how do you even explain the Big Bang Theory? Well, what I find hysterically funny is how atheists reject the evidence we have of Scripture and the manuscripts that are passed down from generations, and yet they deny the God of the Bible, but yet they can't even prove millions of years ago what happened.
Okay.
Do you know why?
Okay, that was like several things at once. So if I wanted to explain the Big Bang Theory, I would just say when cosmic expansion first started, when the universe first started to expand, it was really hot and it was really dense compared to how it is today. And over a long time, the universe has gotten cooler and it's gotten less dense, more spread out. Once it cooled to a certain temperature, atoms were able to coalesce into atomic nuclei, and you had solid structures and you had different forms of matter, like solids, and then you had gas and dust particles, which eventually leads to stars and planets being created and galaxies. Um, and if you want evidence of it, I would say just look to the cosmic microwave background radiation, as well as being able to predict the temperature of the CMB and the prediction being accurate within like 3 Kelvin of the actual temperature. Plus, you have the Hubble constant. So that's explaining the Big Bang. As for what did he even say?
Okay, do you know why scientists, and I'm not talking about atheists.
Oh yeah, not atheists can't explain millions of years. What happened millions of years ago? That's not true. Scientists like geologists and paleontologists can uncover things from a long time ago, and that's inferred evidence, stuff like fossils.
But just cosmologists in general have concluded that there was a Big Bang.
Yeah, in the beginning, God spoke.
No, that's not why cosmologists have concluded that. That's why you have. But but the concept of a Big Bang wasn't around 100 years ago. So do you understand where people came to that conclusion in the first place?
Yeah, through science.
Okay.
Okay, I like that.
Can you be more specific, though? I mean, was it biology? There are a lot of topics that science covers. All right, so let me help you out a little bit. When you look at light, so you know how light can appear at different colors depending on the wavelength of light. Are you with me so far?
Yeah.
Okay, so things that have longer wavelengths look red to us, and if they're even longer than that, then we can't see them because they're infrared and beyond. Things that have very short wavelengths look blue or purple to us, and if they're too short, then we can't see them either because our eyes don't work that way. But what scientists have observed is that when things are moving very quickly, like close to the speed of light, or maybe not all that close. By the way, my dad is a physicist, and he's sitting in the audience right now, and I feel his eyes on me. Sorry I didn't stick with the physics classes, Dad. I'm doing my best. When things are moving quickly, they experience a shift toward the red.
If they're moving away.
Yes, moving away. Because even though the wavelength of the light doesn't change, their motion relative to you seems to be longer. What scientists observed was that if you look out at any point in space.
Okay, I have a $10 super chat from Native Atheist that says oldies but goodies. Yeah, this is an older episode, but I know this guy seems like a troll, but the episode gets a lot better, I think, because this is like my favorite episode. But thank you, Native Atheist, for your super chat.
Everything is a little bit more redshifted than you would expect it to be based on what we know about the composition of stars. And from this, they concluded that everything in the universe is moving away from us very rapidly.
And the farther away, the more rapid.
Yes. The farther away things get, the more rapid they are. And that is consistent with going back into the past and finding that at one point, everything was locally existing within the same small area, and things were expanding from there. Now, does the Big Bang say what happened at the start of that? No. Do we know what that is? We have some. Okay, how do you know that?
Where in the Bible does it say Big Bang?
Yeah, the Bible does not say Big Bang. This is something that Christians have just latched onto since it was discovered by other people.
Because more than 100 years ago, Christians argued that the fact that the universe was finite was supported in the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yes.
Yes, they did. Okay.
A no. This dude.
You may think that they were mistaken and they were misreading the Bible, but they did argue that a long time ago.
No, I believe you. I'm not saying they didn't
Well,
argue
you
that,
said
but
no.
that
You
doesn't mean
did
they
say
were
no.
right.
And
But,
it-
but
you
did
know,
that
I mean,
explanation make sense to you? Because you're asking, why do atheists believe in the Big Bang? And I gave you the answer.
I think that was a pretty good explanation, personally, but I don't think it's going to matter.
Is that a
Okay,
sensible
so-
conclusion?
Well, what caused the Big Bang?
we don't know.
Don't know.
And sometimes
God.
I don't know is the right answer.
No, God is the answer.
How do you know?
I don't need to know.
Well, there you go. Why are you asking how I know something if
Yeah.
you have no idea what you're talking about?
And
Got him.
we actually want
No,
it to be true, not just because you believe it. Can you
Okay,
support what you believe?
Yes, I can.
That's a great quote right there.
Then
Okay.
let's try that for a change.
Sure.
Okay. I mean, everything you said is scientifically, science. I mean, what does science mean? It just means knowledge. Epistemology and
Is this
stuff
part
like
of your
that.
evidence, or are you dodging?
This guy is BSing, dude. He's making this up as he goes along.
The question?
No, I'm not dodging the question. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, and God said, "Let there be light."
How
And
do
there
you know
was
that?
light. I don't need to know that. How do you know that?
Okay.
Were you there a million
Why
years
are we
ago?
talking then? If
Yeah.
you don't feel like there's anything that you have to tell us that's useful information because you don't know it or need to,
You
then
said-
why did you call?
You said you have evidence, and then you don't provide any. Why is that?
Well, the evidence is in the Bible itself.
Yeah, but we don't believe the Bible.
That's
So,
fine. I don't
next.
believe in atheism.
Okay.
What does that even mean? What does that even mean? It's like the title. You're just stealing the title of Ray Comfort's book, which is God Doesn't Believe in Atheists. It's just rhetorical nonsense.
Okay. Well,
Great.
then, good chat. Next.
So do you have evidence or not?
Yeah, prophecy alone proves the divinity of God.
Oh, so you do think that's evidence?
Oh, yeah, it's sufficient.
Okay. Hit me with your favorite prophecy. Make it a good one.
Isaiah 53.
Uh-huh.
The book of Isaiah was written 700 years before the
Just
Messiah
give
even
us the
came.
prophecy.
Yeah. You tell us what it says and what happened.
If you read Isaiah, the book of Isaiah was written 700 years before Christ even came.
Yeah.
Jesus came AD 1. The prophet Isaiah prophesied of a suffering servant, which even Orthodox Jews understand this passage to be a Messianic prophecy. And if you read the entire chapter,
That look that they gave each other, like, dude, I'm pretty sure the Bible, modern translations of the Bible, when they say the word servant, usually they're talking about a slave. And I don't think Jesus was ever enslaved by anyone.
no other person in history has fulfilled this but Jesus Christ.
There have been no other suffering servants in history?
Not that, no, people have suffered, but they do
Okay.
not fulfill every single verse in this chapter like Jesus does.
Like what?
I mean, if you read verse 3, he's despised and rejected of men, a man of sorrows.
Oh, okay. Good
Grief.
thing Jesus was the only despised and rejected person.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
That is an amazing prophecy. And remember, I asked you to bring your favorite one, and that was the first one that you came up with.
Now, I have a question for you as far as the Bible. When people wrote the books of the New Testament, were they
Okay, we have a super chat from Martin A. For 50 Swedish kronar, I think. It says, God Jewel from Sweden. Merry Christmas, but without any Jesus stuff. Next year, we'll hit 5K subs and get Tech Steve to spill the truth. That would be interesting, but thank you. It has been a crazy year for my channel. It's been a lot of milestones that I've been able to hit, and for example, like if you go to Apologia's channel and you sort his videos by most popular, my video is number 5. The video we did together is number 5 in his top 5 most viewed videos, which is just crazy to me. I never expected that kind of response that video would get that kind of viewership. And yeah, I could. There's been so many good things that have happened with the channel this year, but I'm hoping to make next year, you know, do even more, you know. And I think there's going to be some great videos coming out, especially because now I've really got a setup that's comfortable for me. That's why to just be able to start streaming quickly. That's why this stream and the last one, I apologize for some of the tech issues I've been having at the beginning, but I've just been kind of deciding just I'm gonna stream and then I just turn it on. So it's more spontaneous. Okay. We have another a $10 super chat, or sorry, super sticker from I Heart Dogs. It says, "I'm your #1 fan." Well, thank you.
Able to read the Old Testament?
Were they able to read the Old Testament? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so when someone wrote books or stories to put in what became the New Testament, they could read what was previously written.
Yes.
Change the story to fulfill what was written before.
No, not at all.
They couldn't?
Well, I think I could do that if I read an old Batman
I-
story.
yeah.
I can incorporate some of those themes into a new Batman
I
story.
guess I am a more creative author than those guys, because I could totally write you a Messiah story right now that fulfills the prophecies better.
That's pretty funny. Yeah, it's a good point though.
No, what you don't understand is
Yeah.
this was written 700 years before Christ even came.
That is a really long time to be able to come up with a story that fits it.
And no one else in history fulfills that prophecy.
No one else?
No one?
You know
So
every
far
single
you've
human?
told us that there is a suffering servant, okay? I think most servants suffer. And what was the other one? He was despised. Maybe he was a
And rejected of
douchebag.
men. No, maybe he's just fulfilling prophecy because you're actually rejecting him as well.
I reject the Easter Bunny as
Wow,
well.
what's
so-
what? Okay, so if I accepted him, then the call would be over because you'd be like, well, yeah, you accept him, good job. If I don't accept him, then obviously it's true because not accepting him proves that he's fulfilling the prophecy. That's pretty weak.
No, it's pretty strong.
Okay, if you say so.
This guy, he's cracking me up, dude. Okay, we have another $5 super chat from Dave Dalathior. He's one of my patrons. Is this Matt Powell's father? Jerikia? I don't know. I don't think so, though. I do not think he's Matt Powell's father.
So,
What do you say? Because there's prophecies in the Bible that are
Yeah.
fulfilled, and only Christ could fulfill those prophecies.
all right. So,
And like I said, if
he
you
was a
actually-
suffering servant and he was despised. What else?
If you keep going down to verses 5, it says, "But he was wounded for our transgressions, and he was bruised for our iniquities." The
I
chastisement of
don't
our peace
accept
was
that
upon
that
him."
happened.
He was crucified. It's historically proven. What are you talking
For
about?
our transgressions?
Yeah, historically provable? Maybe. But is the resurrection historically provable? No.
There are a million stories in movies and literature about people getting hurt for other people.
Yeah, but what you don't understand is that
No.
you're not even opening your mind to the possibility.
Well, no,
haven't
you
even
are
studied it for
assuming
yourself.
the validity of the story that you're trying to prove to us, and so
Because I
you
know
are.
it's true.
How?
Exactly right. Exactly. That's what he just said.
How do you know it's true?
Because
If you
Jesus
would share this
literally
with us,
existed.
what? If you would share this with us, then maybe it would be convincing. But all you're doing is pointing to aspects of the story that we're not finding convincing.
Well, I don't understand how you don't see how he fits the prophecy. If you read it and you know anything about Jesus, he's the only one in history that fulfilled this prophecy from Isaiah chapter 53, verse 1,
So-
all the way to verse 12.
I don't like to crib off other atheist experience hosts, but I do, on occasion, enjoy Matt's comment, which is, if I order a steak and the waiter brings it to me, did he fulfill my prophecy?
No, because that wasn't thousands of years ago.
Oh,
What if I order a steak last year and it comes to me this year?
like, actually, I think ordering a steak and it coming immediately is a better fulfillment of the prophecy.
true.
Because, I mean, that guy was at least timely. If all you're doing is saying there's going to be an earthquake, and then 1,000 years down the road there's an earthquake, that doesn't really count as me predicting that earthquake, right?
I have to just agree with what he's saying. I think they're making really good points. Even if Jesus fits those things, a prophecy is still, it's technically just a prediction that came true. That doesn't necessarily mean that it has anything to do with the supernatural.
Well, I mean that's fine. You have an opinion. You know, you have your
Okay.
own. You're entitled to your own opinion.
Does
I
it? What do you
respect
think
that.
about Nostradamus?
Nostradamus?
Yeah.
He
What
made
about-
predictions.
Yeah, and a lot of people said he specifically predicted 9/11, for example. He didn't, but a lot of people said he did, and retrofitted a lot of stuff in the actual story to match the things that they thought he was saying. Have you heard that one?
Yeah, but that is irrelevant to the scriptures.
All right. Well, how about this for a different topic? The Bible promotes slavery. Are you pro-slavery?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
All right. Well, then you're not a very good Christian.
That's a good one. Wow.
That's not true, because if you read Exodus chapter 21, the Hebrew word for slavery is ebed, actually. And if you go back 4,000 years ago, every single nation had slaves. And
Oh,
number one,
So that
that's
makes it
not even-
okay. That's
Okay.
And that's not, that doesn't make it okay when it happened in ancient Israel. And it's like, what, God doesn't want to buck the social trend?
nice.
No.
That's nice.
No, I didn't say that it was okay. That's not what I'm saying.
It is what you said.
God
Number
said it
one-
was okay.
God said it was okay because he doesn't know better.
Do you know better than God?
Do I know better than God? No, I would never.
Then
even
why is slavery
propose
wrong?
Why is slavery wrong?
Why didn't God know slavery was wrong?
God
Number
could have
one-
mentioned it. I mean, you know, he had a lot of really, really detailed things about.
Honestly, if this guy is a repeat caller troll, if this dude actually called in after this call, I say you've got some balls, because he's kind of getting destroyed right now. I would not want to be on the other end of these questions, because
Like not eating milk and meat, or not bathing a calf in its mother's
Yeah.
milk.
Thou shalt not roast a goat in its mother's
Right.
milk.
That's the one. I think it was calf. But I mean, he had a whole lot of specific things to say that may have been unpopular at the time. Did he just forget to bring up slavery, or what?
No, not at all. And you know, I deal with this a lot. Actually, with a lot of atheists, and I mean, it's understandable. I understand why you could propose
Okay.
that objection against the Bible, but
It's 'cause it's pretty rational.
Regardless, there was slavery in that time.
okay, we have another super chat from Stacy C for $10. Thank you, Stacy. It says, so stoked for your successes in 2021 and can't wait to see what 2022 holds. Congrats, AJ, and proud to be a fan and patron. Well, thank you, Stacy. I've got some interesting collaborations planned for the month of January, and I think moving forward, if I can talk about my next video is going to be another installment in this new series I started with the CSC college classes, and it's going to be the one talking about Kent, and where he's like, I haven't filed any income tax for 23 years. If there's a law requiring me to, I'd like to see it. And I don't know much about taxes, so keeping with the theme of the first episode, having some guests on, I'm gonna be talking to Robert Beatty, and I'm gonna have some clips of him in the video, because he is a retired IRS employee. So that's gonna help me answer some of the questions I have about that video. So look forward to that.
And God told Moses, this is how
And-
slavery is actually going
God
to
was not one to buck social convention. Is that it? God was afraid
No,
he'd get
actually,
too many thumbs down on Twitter or something. Or no,
no,
Twitter doesn't
actually,
have thumbs down, but too many angry faces on Facebook. That's what I meant.
So as long as you beat your slave and they survive a day or two, you're okay with that?
that's actually are you quoting from Exodus 21?
Yeah, that's in the Bible. That's in there.
And actually, that I mean, if you have to study it more, you can't just pick and choose that one verse because I mean, what exactly you're referring to is in Exodus 21 talking about slavery, verses 1 through 2. Now these are the judgments which thou shalt set before them, thou by a Hebrew servant. 6 years shall he serve, and all that stuff. And it says, if a man smite verse 26, if a man smite the eye of his servant or the eye of his maid, that it perish, he shall let him go free for his eye's sake. So
the part about striking him so hard that I mean, as long as he lives a day or two, there's no punishment at all. That's fine. Because there's other stuff in the Bible that says other things.
No, not at all. Because if he did that, it would be done back to him.
No.
The whole Mosaic law.
Not according to that part of the Bible.
Okay, I mean, but what I'm showing you is that, number one, you cannot compare slavery in the Bible to slavery that was in the world.
Oh, cool.
Yes, you can. You absolutely can.
Cool. Can I own slaves now then?
But you just said slavery was in every country. You compared it to the world.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Good.
And
Yeah, we win.
That was a great point.
Gave them freedom and liberty on certain days to do whatever they did, and if they served their time, they would go out for free.
Oh, good. Can I own slaves now?
He's talking about the indentured servitude, I think. Talking about people going free when they were servants in the Bible, because there was people who had permanent slaves where even their children would be enslaved to the same family, but they had things where if you had a debt, you could work for somebody for 7 years and you could, in theory, work off that debt. But the problem is that most of the time, people who would do that would end up having a wife and kids, having children while they're living in their master's house. And then when their term is up, they can either be let free by themselves and their family stays at that same house and they basically have nothing, or they can go and they can declare that they love their master and they'll be pierced through the ear with an awl. This is what the Bible says. And then they'll basically become a permanent slave. So this temporary servitude, there's just a loophole where they end up being slaves anyway. Okay. We have another super chat from Martin A. for 50 Swedish kronar, which is about $5, $5.50 US dollars. Top of mind, what's your 3 favorite Hovind debates? Mine is 1, 2, and 3 of the Crocoduck trilogy. Any suggestions for good takedowns to listen to? Yes. I have more than 3, honestly. I would say Rutgers, part 1. The guy gets in Kent's face and calls him a liar to his face. It gets intense and rowdy. It's an awesome debate. I love that one. Jeannie Scott. She works. She was like the head of the National Center for Science Education for a long time. I don't know if she still is. I think she is. And it's a phone debate where Kent is at a radio station and she destroys Kent. Professor Dave. I'm going to list more than 3. Bill Ludlow, classic. Arn Ra. I would actually say if you could pick one Arn Ra versus Kent video, it would probably be not a debate, but the discussion video on the non sequitur. That's the only time where you've ever had Hovind and Arn Ra just able to square off against each other. So that one's awesome. The other debate is so spread out over different videos, and Hovind just kind of messed up that debate by filming so many long videos. Yeah, I have a video on my channel that's called Hovind's Worst Debate Moments. If you click on that, you'll see some clips that I'm talking about, and you can go and see the debates where it's that person. You can go and watch that one because all of those debates are good. Also, Ben Wagner versus Kent Hovind is one of my favorites because the whole time, this is a guy who really researched Kent before he started his debate. And the whole time he's messing with Kent and he's being sarcastic with him. And Kent is too arrogant and stupid to realize he's being made fun of. It's hilarious. Yeah, the Leo Phileas Big Bang debate was awesome. If you've seen the debate on his channel, I made the thumbnail for Leo's video. But that's a great debate. Hovind had no idea what he was talking about.
No, because
Why?
it's the old covenant, which is done away.
Well, Jesus said that he didn't come to change the old covenant. He came to fulfill it.
Not one jot or tittle of the law.
Exactly. He came to fulfill it. That means it's been inaugurated.
So
You have to read Jeremiah 31, where the prophet said that he's going to make a new covenant with the house of Israel and the house of Judah.
at
not
what
according to the
point?
covenant.
At what point did Jesus say that it's not okay to own slaves anymore?
At the point that he never owned a slave and none of his disciples did.
Okay, well, I mean, Jesus never got married either. Is it no longer okay to get married?
No, the Bible says to be married to a man.
And the Bible says to own slaves.
Jesus didn't have
Yeah,
slaves,
see,
so based on your
Jesus
logic,
didn't comment on this.
Oh, and the recent debate with Kent Hovind and Dr. Dan from Creation Myths about the flood is so good. It's so good. That's the one where Hovind totally lies about not ever meeting Walt Brown. He's like, "Oh, I don't know about Walt Brown. I've never met him." He's trying to act like he doesn't think Walt Brown's evidence is true when he completely does. It's pretty funny.
Slaves.
no man should ever marry a woman. That's your argument.
See, no, it's not my argument. What I'm trying to say, if you give me time to say it, is that what you don't understand is covenant in the Bible.
Okay, I guess I
Christians
don't.
are under yes, if you read the prophet Jeremiah chapter 31, verse 31, he says that the covenant that I'm making with the house of Israel and Judah, which Christ fulfills, is the fulfillment. Jesus is the fulfillment of the old covenant. That means we no longer live according to the old covenant, but we live according to the new covenant. That's why you don't see slavery in the New Testament.
Why can't I keep owning slaves, though?
You don't? Are you sure about that?
It didn't tell me not to.
Because it was fulfilled. Christ fulfilled the law.
So do the Ten Commandments still apply?
Yes, that's the moral law.
Because that was in the
Those
Old
were
Testament too.
fulfilled.
Yeah.
I guess I can dishonor my father and mother now because Jesus fulfilled the honoring of the father and mother, and so I get to do what I want.
No, please listen to me, okay? You're talking about two different laws. The law of Moses is not the law of God.
How do you
We're
know they're
just
different
trying to
laws?
find the difference.
Is it
Because the law of
written?
God
Which
was
book is?
engraved on stone tablets.
Okay, so
which
Moses is a
set?
higher
The law of
authority
God.
than God.
Is it the 42 rules or the 10 that only stick?
It's just the 10.
So the first,
Christian only lives by the moral law of God.
the first commandments that Moses got that he smashed, those don't count.
No, because they had broke the commandments by worshiping a false golden calf.
Golden calf.
Oh.
That's why he
I
went
don't remember
down there,
saying
yeah.
calf. I remember idol.
Golden calf, yeah.
Is it calf?
Sorry, that one is right.
So Moses had a whole
He's gotten one right.
bunch of rules and he smashed it. So those don't apply because he broke them.
The Mosaic covenant is of no longer effect, and that's where you're quoting the slavery laws.
The Mosaic covenant being including the 10 commandments. I'm lost.
Yeah, it's so complicated.
See,
Yeah.
No,
Do you have any evidence
see,
outside of the storybook of the Bible?
There's historical evidence that Jesus existed.
Oh, okay.
Well, maybe Jesus did exist. So what? I
So when
exist.
Christians
Are you
believe
listening
he's
to what
God,
I say?
that's the proof of God's existence.
This guy is persistent. I'll give him that. I'm surprised he's still going.
I mean, what do Orthodox Christians believe? They believe that Jesus is God. And when God came to the earth, what did man do? We killed him.
I didn't kill him.
I wasn't there.
Yeah, that brings up the question: did God send Jesus to Earth to die, or like did it just sort of happen? Like, surely God let them kill him because Jesus is a deity. This is another thing. Christians, they say, oh, Jesus was in so much pain when he was crucified. You don't know that. Jesus has like basically magic powers. What if he felt no pain whatsoever during the whole ordeal? What if he could fast forward time in his own perception and it's just he doesn't even have to deal with it at all? I mean, he was a god. He's not going to suffer like a normal man. If he did, then he would be allowing it to happen, which doesn't make much sense either. Unless he intentionally came down to kill himself by God sending his own son to die. Why would you send your son somewhere to die? That's messed up, bro.
I had nothing to do with it.
Humanity. Neither did I. I wasn't there.
Okay.
Were you there?
Thank you, Ray.
Yes, you're welcome.
Wait, Ken.
Ken Ham.
Sorry, I get my goofy apologists mixed up.
So we only have 12 minutes.
Yeah,
Calls.
okay. Well, I don't think this is going to go anywhere more, but you are welcome, Jerichiah, to call back another week and
Thank you.
somebody
Thank
else.
you for calling.
Hey, and I
right.
want to say one thing before I go.
Go
If you
ahead.
Don't mind, please.
Yep.
I speak. I'm a Christian, non-denominational believer. I do want to apologize for every Christian who was called in the past and threatened you guys, because I don't believe in that stuff, man, and that was so unchristlike.
Oh,
Well, there aren't real
that doesn't
Christians
scare me.
anyway.
That's right. Yes. Thank you.
That was easy.
Moving
Okay. Well, that's pretty much it, guys. Yeah, I just wanted to have a chill little stream and just show you that episode because I love a lot of the comments that the two hosts make. Um, I just think it's a great video. So I hope you guys have Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you're celebrating. Thank you to the people in the chat and people who are watching with me live. Thank you especially to the people who sent super chats. Martin, Stacy C, Dave Dallafiore, and Native Atheist. Thank you. Thank you guys. And this will probably be my last live stream of this year. I'm going to be taking a break for a few days from making videos. So I hope to come back in the new year even stronger. And I have a collaboration planned with Emma Thorne that's going to be exciting. I know a lot of people are looking forward to that. Emma is awesome. Her channel is really great if you haven't seen it. And I made a YouTube short about her yesterday, and I sent it to her. I told her I made you a Christmas present, and she retweeted it, and the video got like 4,000 views in one day. It was pretty crazy, so that was awesome. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video and next year. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.